Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome to RossonARI TV. It is another day of Milan news. It is another day in the Milan universe. It is the day after of the firing of Paolo Maldini and Massara, and it has been official. There is an official statement from the club. It is on the website, and of course, we're going to go through it and we're going to talk about how it feels to be in the post Maldini era, the day after. Um, it's hard to digest. It's hard to understand what happened. It's hard to accept what happened. Also, because Maldini is such an important character, person in this team, and at the end of the day, one thing is for sure. One thing is for sure, and nobody can dispute it. If there's one person that wants the best for Milan more than anybody else, it is Maldini. It is Maldini. His family is tied to this club. His father was the first man to ever lift the Champions League as a captain of the AC Milan in 1963. Maldini lifted the trophy in 2003 and 2007. His son also played, Daniel Maldini, for Milan. Three generations of Maldini scoring for the club, the only family to have ever done that. Milan is in Maldini's blood. Maldini is in Milan's blood. Firing such an important figure, character, is not something that you can just take lightly. Firing the person that more than anybody else wants the best for Milan is also a message. Where is Milan going to go from now? Where will Milan go? And I guess that is going to be the big speculation of the summer. What does the future of AC Milan looks like? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? And these are the topics we're going to be attacking. These are the topics we're going to be discussing. So let's get to it before we move on. We look at the reports of the day. Let's say hi to everybody in chat. Orlando Sosa says, Forza Milan, Forza Giorgio Furlani, Forza Jeffrey Moncada. Now, ironically, yeah. Cardinale out, Cardinale out. Never liked Redbird from the beginning. Kurvasud should threaten him and even his family if that's what is required for this clown to leave. If it was up to me, I'd kill him if it's needed. All right, guys, I do not condone those kind of messages. Also because this is... we're on YouTube here. I mean, you guys can say whatever you want, but of course, I'm not allowed to condone that. I was watching a lot of Cardinale's videos yesterday to understand this. He essentially said that he doesn't want to improve the team. He wants to keep us in top contention so the league is more competitive. We salute you, Maldini. You brought us out of the ruins and back into the glory days. That's right, Bilal, 100%. Rest in peace, Milan. Didn't even tweet a statement. Cowards. Forza Milan per sempre. That's true. Clint says, I still think it's a dream. Same here, brother. Same here. If the fans didn't stand by Maldini, I will stop following the club every game and I will become an average fan. Before we get into the comments, into the reports of the day, I find it very interesting because I was looking at some of the YouTube channels of Italian fans in Milano that are Curva Sud fans, super ultras. Those guys are yes men, guys. The Curva Sud is yes men. For them, Maldini is just a person. For them, it's all about Milan, guys. So I don't know if the Curva Sud is really going to protest or do anything. The Curva Sud is going to sustain Milan no matter what, even if Milan ends up in Serie D or whatever. The Curva Sud, at least this is what I'm getting from, because I was doing a little bit of research last night. trying to see what people are saying. Basically, from the few accounts that I saw from these guys that are involved in the Curva Sud, these ultras, they're saying that people are being too hysterical, that Milan is bigger than Maldini, etc., etc. So they're taking that route. I don't know if they know what they're talking about. I don't know if they really understand what kind of project Redbird wants to do. I'm not sure about that. I don't even know if they know what Moneyball is, because that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about. But yeah, a few representatives of, let's say, I'm not saying all, I just say the few that I saw are pretty much going along the narrative that, yeah, Milan is bigger than Maldini, and life at Milan will continue, so there's nothing to worry about. But I think that there is a lot to worry about, especially because it's easy to say now that the games have stopped, the season has stopped, there's no competition, we're in the comfort of our home, just looking at a TV screen and judging what's happening on TV. When the games commence once again, and let's say if next season, I'm going to say if, because I'm not going to commit to the idea that the club is finished, but if the club does not produce results, I want to see how some of these people that are going along with what Redbird is doing, I want to see how they act. Now, I'm keeping the door open for a possibility that, the Mercato is going to be good and we're going to continue to do well. But it needs to be said. It needs to be addressed. We are not stupid. We know what the strategies of Redbird, we know what the strategies are. We know because Cardinale has said it. Cardinale has said it, has been transparent about it. Cardinale wants to go along with the whole data analytics, Moneyball situation, spend as less money as you can, work on statistics, work on data analytics, and take that route. And of course, Maldini is maybe more traditional. Maldini is more about, yeah, you got to get champions. You got to get real players. You got to get players that are ready today. You have to invest. Maldini has said this many times. You have to invest. You have to get to a certain level if you want to be consistently competitive with the bigger teams of Europe. And guys, isn't this normal? Isn't this obvious? Guys, the data analytics that Redbird wants to work with is not going to get you Haaland. Man City got Haaland. They didn't need to fucking do any data analytics to get Haaland. Right? But so we have to understand what Redbird wants to do. Now, I don't know. We don't know if it's going to work or not. That's what has to be yet to be discovered. We don't know whether or not it's going to work. We don't know how this project is going to sustain itself if it is true that one of the big rifts between Maldini and Jerry was that Jerry does not want to increase the wage cap, which ultimately means you cannot keep your champions if you don't increase the wage cap. I mean, you can keep them for a little bit, but then after a certain point, you have to sell them because the bigger clubs in Europe are going to come. And once you become stagnant in this top four, just qualify for the Champions League, hopefully make it out of the group stages, get out of the quarterfinal, get out of the final 16. Once you become stagnant in that area, yeah, if Real Madrid comes for Theo Hernandez and says, hey, Theo, I'm going to give you the opportunity to win the Champions League, not once, not twice, but 5 times in a row. Man City comes in. Yeah, of course, guys. This club is destined to be a second-tier club if that is the goal, if this is the strategy. So, excuse me if I'm upset, right? I'm hearing people saying that we shouldn't be hysterical, we shouldn't panic, but our owner is not fucking Berlusconi. Berlusconi, when Berlusconi bought AC Milan, he said he wanted to create the best team in the world. That is why I fell in love with Milan. I don't know if I would have fallen in love with Milan if the project of Milan was be fucking Borussia Dortmund. I honestly don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say if if that would have been the case. So these are things that need to be addressed and need to be talked about. Now, again, guys, I'm keeping the door open. I think we should all keep the door open, and some people are, some people are not. The possibility of Milan being successful and being a top club with this strategy might work, and then this whole issue with Maldini is not going to hurt so much anymore, because when you start to win trophies, when you start to win, the euphoria kicks in, and all the negative things of the past start to dwindle away. So I'm keeping the door open for that, of course. I'm keeping the door open, but also I'm asking for the people that are not aware, look into what Jerry's plans are and try to understand them and compare that to what Maldini's plans are. Obviously, guys, one thing is for sure, these two people could have never worked together. This was definitely not a marriage made in heaven. This was not a marriage made in heaven. Maldini and Jerry cannot work together. They both are pedaling in different directions. So this was bound to happen. Maldini being more of a traditional in his methods, while Maldini going, the classic route. He wants to go the classic route, the route that he became 5 times European champion under, the route that got him 8 times into a Champions League final. Countless scudettos, countless trophies, countless victories around the world. He wanted to go that route, but Jerry wants to go another route. So when I'm listening to these guys from in Italy, in Milano, these ultras, super fanatics that are Milan before anything, it doesn't matter what your name is. Like, I hope they understand where this club is going. I just don't think they know. I don't think they even pay attention to what this ownership is saying and what this ownership wants. So it's a little bit discomforting. I don't think we're going to see much blowback, guys. This is what I'm saying. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I saw that today there was 2 people outside of Casa Milan with the signs. One of those signs said, "Cardinale, what the fuck are you doing?" But it was 2 people, guys. 2 people. I do not think that many people in the Curva Sud are going to do anything boycott. They're not going to say anything. They're just going to go along with it. And then once they realize that the new era of Milan is a Milan that of a second-tier club, maybe then they're going to start to say something. But today, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe tomorrow they are going to start complaining. I don't know. I think they should. Because I think that it is our duty as supporters to uphold the values of this club, right? I mean, guys, the guy that bought this club didn't even know that. We've said this a million times. The guy that bought this club didn't even know that Milan is the second most decorated team in Europe. He doesn't even know. When he went in that museum with all those trophies, he had no. You know what hurts me the most? What I'm about to say is 100% true. When he entered that museum and he was surrounded by all those damn trophies, he didn't even know what those trophies were and what they meant and what they represent. That man probably thinks that the Leeds trophy room looks the same or better. Like, he had no fucking clue what he was looking at. He had no clue about the meaning of any of those trophies. For him, AC Milan is just an asset. Um, it's supposed to make him a profit in the space of 10 years. He does not care about trophies. Trophies is not the goal. Trophies is not the goal. The goal is very clear. Use data analytics and Moneyball strategies to buy players that are unknown players that are fairly unknown, grow them, develop them, and then sell them to make a profit. Because these players are not going to stay at Milan. These players are not going to stay at Milan based on, if it is true that he does not want to increase the wage cap, and if it is true that he wants to maintain the club in this certain order. So it is very disappointing. It is very disappointing to see what is happening, and it hurts a lot. I got to be honest, guys. My heart hurts. My heart is bleeding. My heart is bleeding. My heart is bleeding. And I know all of you guys feel the same. I know all of you guys feel exactly the same. So it is very disappointing what is happening. But, I'm going to keep the door open for optimism. All right. I see a lot of you guys have been commenting. Guys, thank you for being here. Make sure to click the like button. Help the channel grow. Help the community band together, especially in this time. So I'm going to go a few more comments here, and then let's go to the reports of the day. Mustafa says, Roy, Jerry wants to build a Red Bull-like system. Yeah, Red Bull-like system. Develop a player like Nkunku, who is a great player. I love the way Nkunku plays, but then sell him 60 million to Chelsea. He sees Milan as a brand, not a football club. Exactly, yeah. Corporate America has taken over, guys. Corporate America has taken over. Now, there are some people, I want to address some people that are happy that Maldini has left because they were not happy with Maldini's work, right? Especially looking at this season that just passed. Origi was clearly a mistake. He flopped. Adli was a pointless purchase if you look at the way he was used. CDK, the biggest one out of them all, 35 million. CDK didn't produce only one assist, guys. Tatarusano, I think, had the same numbers as CDK as far as offensive output. Guys, that is a reality, guys. I'm not making this up. Tatarusano, our second goalkeeper, had the same offensive output as CDK. These are atrocious numbers. These are atrocious numbers. So, of course, the fingers have to be pointed at the man that the finalizer of these deals, which goes to Maldini. So there's some people that are saying, yeah, Maldini made all these mistakes and it is right for him to move on because obviously, if the season didn't go well, it is Maldini's fault. Now, let's also be clear that Maldini in the last summer was not given, the right platform to operate well. The club was being sold. There was friction between him and Elliott. Maldini already made it clear that he didn't. He had some he had some questions regarding the direction of the club. He didn't know whether he was going to re-sign a contract, so he started the Mercato late. Origi, though, was already bought in winter, though. But at the end of the day, just because Maldini had one bad summer doesn't mean that you need to freaking fire the guy. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, what about the summers before? Maldini always got it right. We had objectives the summers before, and Maldini's market always got us our objectives. right? The summer prior to this one, not only he got it right, but he overachieved, and his decision making in the summer got us a Scudetto. So just because he has one summer that is, not up to standards according to Red Bull, Redbird, we're gonna fire the most respected man in football. What the hell are we doing here? What the hell are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing here? Roy, there's reports Maldini and Masada were not happy with Pioli utilization of players purchased last summer. Yeah, and we're going to look at these. We're going to talk about this, of course. Pioli and Maldini. Of course, Maldini is saying, hey, I got you these players, Pioli. Why aren't you using them? I think that is normal. Maybe Pioli didn't think they were good enough. So that is something that we need to also talk about. This is the what the fuck moment in Milan history. This is a dick move from the owner after the renewal of Lau and winning Scudetto and semi-UCL. What the fuck? That clown. A clown move indeed. Cardinale need to make a press conference to explain the common sense of all of this shit. And yeah, that's the other thing. Like, we would like to have a little bit more transparency. The thing is this, that when McDonald's makes a decision, right, because Milan now is McDonald's. Milan is Starbucks right now. Milan is Starbucks, McDonald's, Subway. Milan is a franchise right now. It's not a football club anymore. It's just a brand. The CEO doesn't have press conferences to talk about why they make their decisions, because they don't look at it. They don't look at the connection between the people that work in the club and the fans. We are nothing but idiots that spend our money to go watch Milan. We are the fucking mice that the piper had to fucking put down in the river. That's all we are to Cardinale. We're just idiots that go along with whatever he's going to do and give him money. We're basically paying for his fucking debt. Every time we buy a shirt, every time we go to the stadium, every time we every single dollar that we spend in Milan, a percentage of those dollars go to Cardinale's pockets in order to fucking pay for this stupid debt that he has, in order to make Milan a second tier team, by the way. A second tier team. What's up, Rock? How you doing, brother? How you doing, my man? What more you can do with 15 million budget? Exactly. What more can you do with 15 million budget? I mean, it's nice to be Bowley, the guy from Chelsea. He gets to spend 100 on this guy, 60 on this guy, 80 on this guy, 30 on this guy, 40 on this guy. The team almost gets relegated. Oh, so what? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Nice to be that guy. Should have sold to Arabs, InvestCorp. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Paul says, some are ruined, that's for sure. It looks like it, my man. It honestly does look like it. Let's see what happens, guys. Again, I'm going to keep the doors open for the possibility of us having a good summer and being competitive next year. Because one of the things we have to see is whether or not the players, how the players react to this situation. Okay, so let's go to the official statement. Let's see what it says. AC Milan have confirmed that Paolo Maldini has concluded his role as technical director of the club effective as of June 5th, 2023. Maldini was fired. Okay. Through a statement on their official statement, Milan has announced Maldini's departure. No, Maldini's firing. Please, Ollie, use the right words. Adding, we thank him for his years of service in this role, contributing to the return to the Champions League and to winning the Scudetto 21-22. His day-to-day duties will be performed by a team. What? That's all you fucking said? That's all you said? A sentence? Bro, these guys are so out of touch. They hate Maldini. They hate Maldini because Maldini is a million times bigger than them. That's why they hate him. His day-to-day duties will be performed by a team working in close integration with the first team manager, ultimately reporting to the CEO. What the fuck? This is the official statement? Are you kidding me? This is all they're gonna fucking say? Yo, this is cold-blooded. This is fucking cold-blooded. It has been a whirlwind 48 hours for Milan fans to digest. The 22-23 season came to a close on Sunday night with a 3-1 win over Hellas Verona, blah, 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 blah. Guys, this is the only fucking... No way. This can't be fucking true, guys. There's no way this is true. Let me confirm this. Let me go to the official website. Oh, my God. That's it? This is your fucking statement? Bruh, fuck the Curva Sud. Fuck the Curva Sud. Fuck you. Fuck you guys. You weak motherfuckers. This is incredible. AC Milan announces that Paolo Maldini concludes his role at the club. Effectively, we thank him for his years of service in the role, contributing to the return to the Champions League and not winning the school. Dude, they left in bad blood. They left in bad blood. I'm pissed off with the Curva Sud because I don't think the Curva Sud is going to say anything. They're just going to go along with it, and they're going to go along with Jerry and his bullshit. At least that's what I've seen so far from people that represent the ultras and the Curva Sud. No. I do not fucking condone this. No way. You put respect on this man's name, and you fucking show me 5 or 6 paragraphs telling me how great this man is and what he means to the club. This is absolute dog shit, guys. This is absolute dog shit. I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. Curva had problems with Paulo for a long time. They're happy that Paulo got sacked. Yeah, that is true. They hate Maldini anyway. Curva is they are yes men. They are yes men. 100%. Absolutely shocked. Without Maldini, AC Milan would still be in the banter if he did not arrive and help to get the players. The players only joined because of Maldini, not about the money. True. 100% true. Bro, what the fuck kind of statement page is that? Even Chat GPA would have showed more respect. It's true, guys. Like, what the fuck? I'm shocked. This is your official statement? Like, yo, Maldini is not Fassone or Mirabelli. Maldini is Maldini, guys. Maldini was there for every time we lift a Champions League trophy. Maldini was there in these past 30 years. Incredible. Cardinale out, 100%. 100%. So how do we convince players to join now? Well, I don't know. Obviously, right now the club is in Europe, so that is one thing. Yeah, no, of course, Milan is always going to be appealing to anybody, to any professional football player. Of course, Maldini was someone that amplified, the lore. He amplified the lore of joining Milan. Anybody, guys, listen to this, guys. 99.8% of all professional football players wished and dream of having a career that is even half of what Maldini's career had. Maybe only 0.2% of football players in football history achieved better than Maldini. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's literally, we're talking about these numbers. So, of course, any football player today will love to be under the tutelage of Maldini, whether it is older players or younger players. And yeah, he added to the lore of coming and joining Milan. So how do we, Yep, dog shit indeed. I understand the Curva Sud because in the past they protested, but nothing happened. Well, they're going to start protesting again, I think. I'm ashamed to say I wish Milan was punished instead of Juve just to get rid of this cowboy Cardinale. By paying higher salaries, Babic has a salary cap on the club. Well, I think, listen, guys, again, going back to this whole situation, they are going to go after youngsters, data analytics. So my guess is this summer there are interesting free players because it is, as we said before, the summer of opportunities. I think this summer they are going to be getting free players, so we might be seeing that. As a matter of fact, there are uh, reports already of 3 players that Moncada and Furlani are interested in. One being Marcus Thuram, coming from the Bundesliga, who had a pretty good season. Remember, Marcus Thuram in France is second choice after Giroud. Just keep that in mind. But Marcus Thuram was one of the players linked. There's the right winger from Arsenal. I'm not very familiar with him as a player, but he is also out of contract. So that is one player that they're looking at. And then Ndika was another player. Ndika is a great player. I wish we could get Ndika. If they can make that happen, that would be amazing. That would be already a good sign if we can sign Ndika. He is free, but reports are suggesting that he's closer to Roma than Milan. Let's see. Maybe the Ndika operation is still hijackable. If that's a word, you can hijack that operation. If Moncada and Furlani can bring Ndika to Milan, that is, I think, a very good operation. I think it is. Roy, how do you have the strength to do another live? I'm actually sick, and I will be more disappointed if the fans, especially those in Italy, choose to stay silent and do nothing. Guys, the fans in Italy, the sense that I'm getting from the fans in Italy is that they don't understand what Redbird wants to do. They don't understand it. 2 people showed up to protest today. 2 people, guys. That's it. That's crazy. Yeah, true. It is absolutely disgusting. All right, let's get back to these reports. Let's get back to Sempre Milan. This is absolutely shameful, guys. No, zero integrity. This club has zero integrity. We literally spat in the face. This club literally spat in the face of one of Milan's greatest legend, one of Milan's greatest legends, with a statement like that. There you go. The 2 fans that were protesting. Cardinale, what the fuck are you doing? Milan, vogliamo salto di qualità. We want a jump of a leap in quality. With you, Cardinale, it is impossible. Hashtag Cardinale out. That's it. 2 people, guys. 2 people showed up to show their disgust. Okay, let's look at this. Vitiello, very active right now. Let's see what he says about the relationship between Moncada and Maldini. So again, there is a contingent of the Milan universe that is pro Moncada. Through a statement on their official, okay, one man who does seem nailed on to stay is Chief Scout Jeffrey Moncada, and it is expected that the Frenchman will get even more responsibility than he had before as part of the new look management. According to what Milan News journalist Antonio Vitello said on a Twitch stream, Moncada was not listened to much by Maldini every time he proposed names to strengthen the squad. Now, the head of scouting will have more prominence in the recruitment process, and therefore the names he puts forward are much more likely to be listened to, if Vitiello is correct. So, right now, Moncada looks like a genius. Because apparently, if this is true, Moncada suggested Colomani. Colomani now is worth 100 million. Moncada suggested Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez in Benfica performed well, but then went and he was sold then for 100 million. But then once he joined Chelsea, I think there's an argument there. Obviously, it didn't work out so well for him in Chelsea. And so forth. So right now, Moncada looks like a genius, and Maldini looks like the village idiot, right? So of course, Moncada is has gained favor, and he seems to be given this job. Moncada is obviously going to be a yes man, guys. Let's be clear about this. Jerry wants ultimate power. Jerry does not want to share power. Maldini wanted more autonomy. Maldini wanted to be more autonomous in his decision making. He wanted more money. He wanted more investments. He wanted to build a team in a different way. So whatever. Maldini now is gone. He's out of the picture. So what do we have now? We have Jerry, who wants ultimate power in the signings. He kind of wants to be like a Todd Bowley, essentially, as you said in the official statement. There is going to be much more involvement from the upper ups when it comes to the market and the decision making. And he needs yes men to perform his duties and his strategies. Now, remember, when Jerry joined AC Milan, he spoke about Moneyball. He said these words, Moneyball, data analytics. He wants to take that route. So essentially, he wants to buy young players that cost nothing, make them worth 100 million, and then probably flip them. Moncada is a scout, and he's great at spotting talents. That's it. And that's a good point right there, right? Moncada is a great scout, guys. There's no doubt about his ability as a scout. I think he was one of the scouts that scouted Mbappe, right? When Mbappe went to Monaco. So there's no question about Moncada's abilities as a scout. But then, the question is he a leader? Is he a talisman? How do the players behave? How do the players grow? How do the players develop under the tutelage of people like Moncada, Furlani? Who is the father figure of this all? Who is at the top of the pyramid? Who is the heart and soul of this team? It can't be Jerry. These players, what do these players? How can these players respect Jerry? Jerry didn't even know that Milan is an elite club. It can't be Moncada. Moncada is just a scout. It can't be Fruliani. Fruliani is just an accountant, a bank man. Who is it going to be? Pioli? It can't be Pioli. It cannot be Pioli. For Man City, they get Guardiola. They pay 20 million. Okay, Guardiola becomes the head honcho of the situation. But they're not getting a Guardiola. Actually, they want to keep Pioli. How can you replace a figure that is bigger than life, Maldini, with Moncada? But one thing for sure is, guys, let's give Moncada his flowers and his credit. He is a top-level scout. One thing for sure. And let's see who he scouts, and let's see if he can, bring those players to Milan, and let's see if those players can perform. Guys, I think we have no choice but to leave the doors open to see whether or not this is going to work or not. Omar says, while I'm against the way Maldini was treated, I sort of want to see what the new team does with the market. I see from the reports we aren't going after players like Arnautovic anymore. Okay, I agree there. Arnautovic, I'm not a big fan of Arnautovic. I didn't like us being linked to Arnautovic for sure. But let's see who they bring, guys, because I had this conversation with someone else in the comments. So let's look at CDK, right? CDK is the identikit profile of what Moneyball Redbird wants, right? A young player coming from a lesser league that is doing outstanding in that league, and you give him a certain amount of years to develop. So this Moneyball situation, this data analytics is not bulletproof. It's not waterproof. It is also bound for error, right? So yeah, I don't know how well giving Milan essentially putting Milan in the hands of data analytics. I don't know how much that is going to be effective. At the end of the day, these football players are human beings. We're not computers. They're human beings, and they perform under a certain. They perform at high levels when they're monitored and when they're under the tutelage of great people like Maldini, like Guardiola, like Ancelotti. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Some ultras had banners disrespecting Maldini when Maldini retired. He did not get involved in Milan operations till 2018 due to this. Again, he got disrespected now by the management. Yeah, unfortunately, there is bad blood between these two, and it is what to do. It is what it is. Gotta get Zidane as new manager. Yeah, that'd be nice. Pioli's a yes man from now on. He will keep his mouth shut just so he doesn't get fired. Those who speak will likely get fired. Yeah, and that is another message, right? That is 100% another message of the club right now. You speak out against this club, or you even mention something that is a little bit outside the lines, you're out. You're out. But listen, guys, let's be honest here. Let's be smart. The intention of firing Maldini came already a long time ago. I think last year the only reason why they hired Maldini again was not since the club was being sold. It was not to create this crazy hysterical panic, because at the time, soon after winning the Scudetto, you cannot fire Maldini. But they already wanted to get rid of Maldini back then. Elliott was ready to get rid of Maldini. Jerry came in with his ideas, and he already knew what he wanted. When Jerry bought AC Milan, he already knew how he wanted to undergo the strategies. And obviously, they did not coincide with Maldini's idea. So Maldini was out no matter what. They were ready to fire him last year. And this winter, they made sure that they didn't give him anything. That was clear. So, guys, let's be smart about this. Maldini was already out of the picture 1 year ago. By this time last year, they had already decided that Maldini was going to get fired. So it was this was already decided a long time ago. All the current players will not perform as much as they did before, as now Maldini and Zlatan have left. They were the two people who kept this team compact and as a family. Now it's all broken. Yes, I think these things are real and they matter. They definitely matter. When you're in that, when you're training at Milanello under the supervision of Maldini, it is very different from training at Milanello under the supervision of Fassone or Mirabelli, Moncada or Friulani. I think these things matter. I really do. CDK and Ali are data analysis strategy guys. Understand Maldini doesn't know who these guys are. Moncada told Maldini about them. He scouted them. Please understand each one role. Yeah, so CDK was obviously scouted by, even though maybe Moncada said, no, don't get CDK, get this other guy. But he is a product of Moncada's scouting. Ancelotti won't solve our issue. De Zerbi or Nagelsmann? Well, I mean, what is the issue? The issue is, let's be clear here, gentlemen. Maldini wanted to build a team that would be able to compete against Man City, Real Madrid, whoever is the top of Europe, Bayern, PSG. That's what Maldini was. That's what Maldini was born into. That's what Maldini's career was all about. Being the best in the world. Not even Maldini's career was not even about being the best in Italy, being the best in Europe. It was about being the best in the world. Guys, we are not going in that direction. That is not the plan anymore. That is not the plan anymore. So De Zerbi and Nagelsmann are not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're just going to, right now, the boss is Jerry. Jerry's intentions are completely different from Maldini's. I remind you guys, and I don't want to be repetitive. We'll go to the next segment. But Jerry's intention Jerry, first of all, didn't even know what the Champions League is. He didn't know that Milan was the second most decorated team. His intention is completely different. His intention is to buy players, young players at a low price, develop them, make him profitable, and maybe sell him. So he can pay off his debt, build a stadium, and then sell Milan for a profit. Jerry does not give two shits about making Milan great. All he gives a shit about is profit. That's it. The Berlusconi era is over. We're done. Yonggong Lee, the Chinese owner, was more ambitious than Jerry. Remember that. Remember that. What about Pioli? Will he stay? According to the reports, Pioli is likely going to stay, yes. Expect that Leao will be sold and he won't stay. Nor the French Mike Magnan. Cardinale is going after new talent. Expect Milan to battle for salvation next year. Maybe Serie B. Dispiace molto. Yeah, listen, I think, okay, guys, again, I don't want to sound defeatist. I'm not going to say that we have lost before a whistle has been blown. But today, my expectations is that we're definitely not winning the league. We're definitely not winning the league. But again, who knows? Who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe Moncada and Fruliani are going to pull a rabbit out of their ass. They're going to bring 3 or 4 players that are going to amplify the quality of the team, and just that quality is going to be enough to bring this team to the next level. So let's keep the doors open for that. Let's keep the doors open for that. Our players won't even want to listen to De Zerbi or Nagelsmann. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Ricky M, what's up, brother? Roy, Moncada is a data analyst, so his analysis data and the list of players he is sent to Maldini and Moncada role is not to say which one is better. He will show each player's skills, strengths, and weakness. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it is up to Maldini. It was up to Maldini or Massara to make the final decisions. And okay, yeah, guys, it is true. This year, the only good decision that they made that was ready for the season this year was Chow. Chow was a great signing, a genius signing. I call Chow a genius signing. But everybody else wasn't. And so what, guys? So what? I've said this before. I've seen Maldini make mistakes as a football player. I've seen Maldini finish 11th one time with AC Milan. I've seen Maldini score an own goal against Atalanta. I still remember that game. For some reason, the games in the past that I remember, for some reason, I still remember the game Atalanta Milan 3-3. Maldini scores an own goal. I still remember that game for some reason. I remember Maldini being part of a defensive line that allowed Liverpool to come back from a 3-0 win 2005. Okay. Yeah, guys, we're human beings. We're bound to make mistakes. You think Moncada and Jerry are not going to make fucking mistakes? Bruh, let me tell you this. If Maldini is going to make mistakes, trust me. Moncada and Jerry are going to make mistakes. Trust me on that. This is one thing for sure, especially a guy that has no clue about football tradition, about football in general. This guy has no clue about football. He has zero clue. Zero clue. All right. Let's see. There was another interesting. Now, this one here is quite interesting. Of course, guys, take these reports with a grain of salt. Right now, everything is just a speculation. Nothing is real. Everything is fake. But let's just look at this and let's opine on it. One journalist has claimed that Cristiano Giuntoli will leave Napoli but wants to remain in Italy, with AC Milan interested in appointing him. Journalist Walter De Maggio spoke on Radio Kiss Kiss Napoli about Giuntoli's future and confirmed that Milan have jumped on the director after the farewell of Paolo Maldini and Ricky Massara. Giuntoli had already expressed his intention to leave before the Easter, and Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis, after finally refusing at first, seems to have opened to the idea following a second meeting. There is a Premier League club interested that could build golden bridges for Giuntoli, but the director wants to stay in Italy even though he has no intention of continuing with Napoli. Giuntoli has been highly praised for his work in the transfer market, especially last summer when Victor Osimhen, Kim Min-jae, Kvaratskhelia were brought in and helped to end a long Scudetto drought. So Victor Osimhen was brought in before last summer, but Vicha, Kim, Raspadori, Simeone, Oliveira, and Ndombele. Yeah, Giuntoli had a super mercato. But the year before, the guy that had the super mercato that won the league was Maldini. But Giuntoli is obviously someone that is very competent. He has shown that he has a good eye for talent. He understands how to build a good team. Giuntoli could be a good solution. Someone with a proven record right now, not an incredible proven record, but a proven. His record is just as good as Maldini's in this current moment. So this could be an interesting solution to bring in Giuntoli. It could be an interesting solution, but of course, the heart and soul of Napoli is not Giuntoli. The heart and soul of Napoli is De Laurentiis and his passion for the club. Right? The heart and soul of Milan's Berlusconi was Berlusconi. He was the guy there that would show up at Milanello with the fucking helicopter and inspire the players. It's difficult, guys. Difficult to digest right now. What do you guys think of Giuntoli? Would you be happy with Giuntoli joining Milan? Let me know. Yeah, even Galliani and Marotta have made mistakes. Of course. Roy, expectation versus reality, man. If Furlani and Moncada find 3 players that raise the level, then okay. But I honestly don't see it, especially in the first year. Right. I think that it's hard to believe that. Let's put it that way. It's just hard to believe that. Is the deal with Kamada finalized, or AC Milan no longer going for him? According to what was reported yesterday, all the deals that were being processed by Maldini and Massara are now in this moment suspended. So this is going to be another market like last year, where everything has been suspended until they figure out who's going to be doing what. And once again, we're going to go in the market late. Luigi Timpano says, Roy, I think that is not a mistake trying to pursue a new project, but it is a mistake the way Maldini was excluded from Milan. Well, I mean, the thing is that the new project, what is the new project, Luigi? I mean, you live in Italy. Do you know what the new project is? Because, I mean, we know what the new project is. Are you happy with the new project? I don't think that when my opinion, guys, of course, guys, we could be completely wrong. And at the end of the day, Jerry becomes the greatest owner that Milan has ever had. Unlikely, but let's reiterate this again. Remember, the new project is data analytics, Moneyball. Get young unknown players. Do not raise the wage cap. Just keep Milan in the top 4. Do not build a team to win the Scudetto. Keep on building a team just to stay in the top 4. If a player is not happy with his wages, you do not meet him. Rather, you sell him. And as far as the Champions League, no intention whatsoever to win the Champions League. Yeah, media are talking about a Moneyball project. Exactly. Maldini didn't want a Moneyball project. Maldini wants to build a team to win the Champions League. So my question is to all the Italians in Italy, are you going to be happy to see Milan become Lazio? Are you going to be happy to see Milan become Roma? Are you going to become happy to see Milan become Atalanta? Because remember, Maldini does not want that. Maldini wants Milan to be Milan. Let's be clear. Jerry is downgrading Milan. I don't know how he thinks this is a good, profitable business to downgrade the brand. But let's see. Let's see, guys. Let's keep the doors open. Maybe at the end of the day, Yeah, and by the way, what happened to this team that made Moneyball famous? Because I still see that the biggest team in baseball today is Yankees. I don't even know what the fuck the name of this team was. That movie with Brad Pitt, Moneyball couldn't even get the baseball teams a championship. So that team there was basically Toulouse, right? Moneyball is good for a team like Toulouse. But today, people are not talking about that team that whatever Brad Pitt started a movie for. I don't even know what that team is called. The Oakland A's. Yeah, there you go. Today, people are still talking about the fucking Yankees, Red Sox, or whoever is the top baseball team. So this is who we are, the Oakland Athletics. Is that who we are? Oakland A's. We're going to be moved to Las Vegas. Moneyball has never won a UCL. If I was Chelsea, I'd get Maldini. Imagine Maldini with no budget restrictions. Yes. So something very interesting to find out now is what Maldini is going to do in the future of his career. I wonder if he is going to continue to work in football with another club, because he's been a one-man club. That's really been the thing, one of the things that has been unique about him. I really wonder if he's going to move on, continue the work that he's doing at another club. One thing for sure, his phone right now is ringing like crazy. One thing for sure is that his phone is ringing like crazy. And a lot of people, a lot of the top clubs are probably inquiring. They're probably inquiring about him. But I don't know, guys. I'm just putting it out there. I doubt he's going to do that. I think that as he's only going to work in football if it's related to Milan. But I don't know, guys. He might not. If he does, good for him. I'm not going to hold it against him. I don't think anybody should hold it against him, especially with how badly this management just kicked him out. I think the data analytics is a useful tool, but can't totally rely on that. Yeah, you can't totally rely on that, of course. Now, I don't disagree with the fact that, yeah, a new project could be good for the team. But let's judge this project once it's actually in motion. Today, especially with how Maldini was fired and us knowing what Jerry wants to do, it's hard to be positive about it. Very hard. Culture is in baseball or any American sports. Yeah, it was Oakland's A's, and they suck so much they move in cities to Las Vegas. Roy, that's what happened when you have an American leader with a businessman mentality. Yeah, true. Maldini's probably on a plane to Ibiza right now. Man, he deserves a holiday. He deserves a holiday. I hope Cloundinale proves us wrong, but till now he fucked up everything he touched. Won't Redbird make more profits and Milan became the best again? Well, I honestly, you would think, right? You would think if you want to be a top level brand, you have to be the best. You have to be a lot, at least in the conversation. But Redbird doesn't even want to be in that conversation. Redbird just wants to make enough money to then sell the club. Listen, the ambitions of Jerry, I'll say this again. Jerry, when he bought the club, he did not see, I want to make Milan this great club that is going to win the 8th Champions League. I want to bring Milan the 10th Champions League, right? 10, 9, 8, 9, 10. I want Milan to win the second star. Bro, the guy doesn't even know what all of that shit means. Him and his American buddies have been talking about, investing in European football, and the committees, the economic forums that they do in America are suggesting that right now investing in European football is a good long-term investment. So what he is looking at, he just wants to keep the status quo, wants to keep the team just with its head above water, build a stadium, then sell it. Unfortunately for us, we have to live through this whole fucking process, and and just accept it, because as fans, we can't do anything about it, guys. We are totally powerless. If I decide not to go to the stadium or not to buy a shirt, it doesn't fucking matter, because someone else is going to buy a ticket for that same seat and someone else is going to buy that shirt. Because the majority of people don't even know what the fuck is going on. So it is what it is, and we have to just we just have to accept it. I mean, there's nothing we can do. Personally, I'm not going to fucking give this guy any money whatsoever. Nothing. I wanted to go see Milan Juve. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to get any merchandise. I'm not going to give this guy any fucking money. No way. Pioli will be judged heavily this upcoming season. No Brahim, no excuses. If Maldini and Ricky get sacked, then Pioli would follow. Yeah, now the next guy they're going to look at is Pioli for sure. Now, the profits and value of Milan will come from buying young, low-cost players, and when they grow, the overvalue of the club also increases. Yeah, that is true. You're actually correct about that, yeah. The problem is that Cardinale bought Milan in the first place. He didn't even have all the money to complete the transaction. So now how can we expect him to spend money on the market? Yeah, of course, he's not. He's not. This is why he wants to go along with the Moneyball data analytics idea, and that's why he clashes with Maldini so much. Cardinale out. I canceled my trip to Milan this summer, going to Naples now. Hypothetical question. If key players like Leao, Theo and Magnan are guarantees with this new project, does this change your feelings on the club's future? No, listen. I think that we have to. I'm not going to tell you for sure, and nobody should tell you for sure what is going to happen tomorrow. Right? All we can say is we know what happened yesterday, and it was fucking heartbreaking. We know that yesterday the man that cared the most for this club in the world was fired. They spat in his face, and they fucking left a 3-sentence line on AC Milan website as their official statement, saying that he concluded that his time at Milan is concluded. I don't know. Let's see. At the end of the day, these guys, they have contracts that they have to respect, and as Berardi said, in order to sell a player, you need three people to agree. So even if Theo wants to leave, but the management says no, he's not leaving. So it's not that simple. We will see. We can only wait and find out. At this time, right now, I think that it is a conundrum. What happens in the future is a conundrum. We can speculate, we can guess, we can think it's going to be good, we can think it's going to be bad. The only thing that we can really do is wait and see. And then once everything is in motion again, we can actually judge it. But now, let's do the hypothetical. If Theo and Magnan continue and Milan continues and they kick ass, the only thing that will make me satisfied is if we become a top level team, a top tier team, because that's why I'm a Milanista, guys. I don't give a shit about being. I'm a Milanista no matter what. At this point, it's ingrained in me. It's ingrained in all of us. We can't do anything about it. It's impossible to not be a Milanista anymore. But the only thing that satisfies me as a Milanista is when we are in the discussion of being the best team in the world. That's the only thing that satisfies me. The only thing that satisfies me is being number one. I was accepting the project. I was expecting the projection. I was accepting, the growth. I was seeing the growth. But right now, everything leads me to believe that our growth now is projected towards being a second-tier team. A Borussia Dortmund, a Ajax, a Benfica, whatever you want to call it, a Lazio, an Atalanta, Roma. There's no way that with the strategies that Redbird wants to implement, we can achieve our former glory. It is As of now, I think it is impossible. But let's see. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I was wrong in being optimistic. Hopefully, now I'm wrong in being pessimistic. I disagree with you, Roy. English fans who had a team with a legend like Maldini and kicked out by the Americans, the fans will burn everything down if they have to. I don't know, guys. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing any reactions from the fans in Italy. I'm not seeing any reactions. Listen, let me tell you something about Italy, okay? In Italy, you make a mistake, you're gone. You make one mistake, you're gone. There's no, and this is one of the reasons why Italy is a failing country, because there's no room for error, right? There's no room for continuity. You make one mistake, you're gone. This is why you have so many presidents in the history of football in Italy, where every year the coach gets fired. So Maldini, in the psyche of many fans in Italy, I think they're seeing this as, yeah, he made a mistake. The season sucked, so let's look to the future now. I'm guessing. I might be wrong about that too. Repubblica, Milan squad in revolt. We're going to look at that too. May I ask what in particular makes you think the club will stagnate or even regress in this new direction? Is it the use of data analytics? Is it something that Jerry said? Well, I mean, let's be realistic here, guys. Let's look at all the clubs that are in the elite, that are winning Champions Leagues, that are in Champions League finals, including Inter. They're not taking this direction. The teams that are taking this approach, the teams that are taking this approach are the teams that finish third in the group stages of the Champions League, that finish in the quarterfinals. Sometimes you'll see one make a semifinal, like Milan. Sometimes you'll see that. But let's be honest, guys. I think it's okay to do a mix. You do a mix of both. You have to make some serious investments if you want to bring in quality. I mean, Napoli, guys, they invested a lot of money in Osimhen. Osimhen scored 26 goals for them. They got lucky with Vice Veraschilia because of the war in Russia and Ukraine, and Vice Veraschilia came with a discount. But Raspadori, who was a great player for them coming from the bench, is going to cost them 36 million at the end of it. Simeone is costing them somewhere around 20 million. Right? So, I mean, you have to do a combination of both. There's no way that you can sustain a club and make a club into a Champions League winning club with this approach. Let's be realistic. So yes, I in my opinion right now, with this approach, things eventually are going to stagnate. But again, I don't want to say I'm fucking Nostradamus either. I don't want to say I'm Nostradamus. Let's see how Leao continues his career. Let's see if we can renew Magnan. Let's see if Theo Hernandez stays. Let's see what Tonali does. Benacer, Tomori, Chow, Kalulu. Diaz is gone, so we can't use Diaz anymore. Let's see what happens. I don't understand why Curva didn't take a position on this. Yeah, from what I've seen, and maybe Luigi, you live in Italy, so maybe you can confirm or not. It looks like the Curva's stance is there's no name bigger than Milan. It's Milan, no matter what, doesn't matter. We will always be behind the club, behind the players, which maybe is good. Okay, guys, maybe it is good. Maybe if we want to really do a heavy mental gymnastics exercise right now, maybe the people that can substitute Maldini as this figure that pushes the players, it is the Curva Sud. It is the fans. The fans and what they transmit to the players, maybe that's what is going to keep this team intact. So maybe the Curva Sud is doing the right thing. right? Maybe if a Curva Sud goes out there and protests, that sends a negative message to the players, and then you end up losing the players, right? So maybe if you want to do this heavy gymnastic exercise, you can look at it that way. Cardinal is ready, is waiting for the highest bidder, and will sell as soon as possible. Let's hope Investcorp do it now next season. Curva not doing anything about this is worst thing possible. Roy, Inter will also go through this process because they have no other way out. The club is bankrupt. Yeah, probably. Looks like it. It does look like it. Okay, so let's look at this Repubblica report. Let me see if I can find it. Let's go through some of these reports, guys. I'm going to try and whiz through them. Medici, Real Madrid, journalist claim, Ibrahimovic, here it is. Repubblica. So, guys, take this with a grain of salt. We don't know how true this is, but this is what the Repubblica is reporting. A report from La Repubblica confirms that Maldini will leave Milan and that an American revolution will start soon with the team in revolt upon hearing the news that the technical director has been sacked. By the way, so far in the social media world of the players, we had that cryptic tweet from Leao yesterday where he tweeted an emoji face, pretty much suggesting like what the hell is going on. And then today, Yassin Ali had a few stories about Maldini, showing a picture of Maldini getting manager or director of the year, and everything's paying homage to Maldini. So, this is so far what we have. Maybe there's more that I haven't seen yet. If you follow our site, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Let's get to this article. If you follow our Substack, none of this would come as a surprise, given we reported last week that there are some differences that have arisen between the pair. Ricky Massara will also leave too, as was confirmed during Maldini's meeting with Jerry Cardinale yesterday. The main players in the squad, such as Rafael Leao, Mike Maignan, and Theo Hernandez, didn't take it well. After a meeting in a hotel in the central Milan that lasted 1 hour, it became clear that Maldini Massara would be departing from the Rossoneri due to irreconcilable differences with the ownership ground Redbird Capital. The duo will therefore divorce from the team that under their leadership obtained a Scudetto, a semi-finals in the Champions League, and a third consecutive qualification for the most important club tournament in the world. As mentioned, the key players in the dressing room have not taken the news well at all, given how influential the pair have been in bringing some of them, but also how close they are, given their presence at training almost every day. That's the thing, is like for them, Maldini especially and Massara, these guys, it's like family guys. Like you see these guys every day, you travel with them every day. These are the guys that believed in you the most. Maldini is the guy that believes in Leao the most. Maldini is the guy that believes in Theo the most. In everybody that is in that squad, the most important father figures that these guys had was Maldini, and obviously he's out. So of course you're going to have a negative reaction. It is normal. This is absolutely normal. Like the stream, guys. Like the stream. Thank you, Clint. I wish those Qataris that are interested in Man United came forward and buy this club and retire Paulo and this American rubbish dictatorship. Yeah, right now, guys, as you can see, nobody's happy with the situation. Nobody's happy with the situation. All right, let's look at this report here regarding Moncada. All right, here we go. Moncada, 37 years old, by the way. 36. He's a young kid, 36 years old. Milan and other reliable sources are reporting that Jerry Cardinale decided to sack Paolo Maldini and Enrique Massara. According to Matteo Moretto of Rilevo, Jeffrey Moncada will be the future of the management moving forward. The ownership greatly appreciates his work, and they have offered the chief scout a 3-year renewal. Damn. Some summer targets will now change, as the owners will not go for priority profiles such as Bologna striker Marco Arnautovic or Sassuolo winger Domenico Berardi, presumably because of the fees involved and their respective ages. However, Chelsea midfielder Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Eintracht Frankfurt playmaker Daichi Kamada are still on the list, while Moretto adds that there will be international surprises without going into great detail on what that means. Yeah, so Moncada is the man to take the job, guys. Moncada is the man to take the job. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, so let's look at this, since this is the future of Milan. As La Gazzetta dello Sport reports this morning, the revolution at Milan will not just concern the departures of Maldini and Massara, but also could see changes in the previous structure. Until yesterday, the two heads of the technical area dealt directly with the market, negotiating the buy and selling of players and the renewals of those already in the squad. Now it is expected that there will be an internal reorganization that will see roles and responsibilities divided between those who already work at Milan, such as the CEO Giorgio Furlani, who took over from Ivan Gazidis. Market management will pass into the hands of Furlani as per the paper. Elliott Management's former portfolio manager, whose duties have already grown considerably in recent months, as he played a hand in the renewal of Rafael Leao. While the work of Maldini Massara with Leao's representatives was, of course, productive, without the CEO entry into the scene to try and agree a strategy over the fine owed to Sport and CP, his extension would most likely have remained a difficult puzzle to solve. So Furlani gets credit for the renewal of Leao. He gets some credit for the renewal of Leao. But let's not just dismiss the credit that Maldini and Massara get. Geoffrey Moncada, the head of AC Milan scouting, who has worked for the Rossoneri since the early days of Elliott, is destined for more responsibility too. He has already contributed to signings such as Fikayo Tomori and Pierre Kalulu. Okay, but that is very different from signing Leao Hernandez and Mike Magnan. With all due respect to Tomori and Kalulu. Moncada coordinates a network of 10 scouts and in recent years had fruitful talks with Maldini Massara, so now might be the right time for him to take on a bigger role. Cardinale believes in the Moneyball style market, players selected on the basis of data. He stated before, everyone has them. The difference is how you use them. Billy Beane was decisive in convincing me that European football could be a great opportunity. Well, Beane himself, the player trading guru who revolutionized baseball and inspired a successful film with Brad Pitt, is one of the pillars on which Milan will rely more and more for the... Bruh, this motherfucker is going to create Milan... Oh my God. So basically, the so-called inventor of Moneyball fucking... Oh my Lord. He already, Billy Beane already collaborates with Redbird regarding the Rossoneri, and now it will intensify. The same could happen with Luke Bourne, the man from Zelus Analytics, the data analysis company that planned the takeover of Toulouse. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, guys. Mamma mia, ragazzi. Ted Lasso's gurus. Ted. Jerry saw Brad Pitt film and thinks he's going to revolutionize football. This is what you always wanted, Roy. Americans taking over. No, come on, bro. I don't care what nationality the owners of Milan are. Listen, I was wrong in being optimistic, okay? I'll give you that. I was wrong in being optimistic when it came to the future of his club. Who the fuck are these Hollywood merchants? Blood watched too much Ted. Leo releasing a new video on his YouTube channel tonight. Okay, we'll check it out later. We'll do a live reaction of it. Also, hope he drops a diss track on Jerry's head. That's hilarious. I think the Curva Sud are waiting for what Maldini has to say about what happened. Yeah, maybe. You might be right about that, Jara. You might be right about that. Refresh the site. Lau posted a video on his story. Okay, let's check. Oh, yeah, I saw this video. I don't know what it means, guys. He's pretty much just singing. I don't. Is it one of his songs? He looks happy. He looks like he's in a good mood in this video. I don't know. What do you think it means, guys? You tell me. He tweeted an emoji of thinking confused head when the news broke, and now he has filmed himself driving and suggesting that he should say no more, as the song suggests. Guys, what do you think that means? What do you think that means, guys? I don't know what that might mean. I honestly don't know. Say no more. Can I ask you something? Why do you think you need everything that Sempre Milan says is real? I mean, sometimes what they post is fake. Okay, listen, guys. I don't understand. I need to explain this a million times to everyone. Sempre Milan does not do any reporting. All right? Sempre Milan does not do any reporting. The only reason why I use Sempre Milan is so I don't have to jump from a million websites. What Sempre Milan does is they collect reports from all over and they put them together. Everything that you read, everything that you see from this side, from that side, from this other, blah, 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 it all gets collected and put together on Sempre Milan. Sempre Milan does not deploy journalists or investigative journalists around Europe to report on the news. All that Sempre Milan does is put it together. Milan News. You say Milan News is better. All the Milan News reports are on Sempre Milan. The reason why I don't use Milan News is because I have to translate them to English. Right? The same reports that you read on Sempre Milan are more or less the same reports that you read in Milan News. But the thing is, I don't have to translate them to English. That is done. And now, guys, no report is 100% true. And I'm not saying that everything we read here is 100% true. Of course, any report that comes out, you can speculate on, right? You can speculate, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But pretty much, it's basically a website that collects all the reports from around the world. So, for example, let me show you. This report here about Dybala comes from calciomercato.com. They just took it from calciomercato.com and they translated it. So instead of me going to calciomercato.com, I just read it from here. Now, you can say calciomercato.com says a lot of bullshit. Why do you read that? Okay, fine. This report here. This report here comes from Sky Sport via Milan News. Okay, Milan News is another website similar to this one. Vitiello is milannews.it, right? No, sorry, this is the official website. Never mind. But Vitiello is basically Milan News. Milan News is an Italian website. We are an English we're an English channel, so that's why I don't use Milan News. But since you brought up Milan News, let's see what they do have. And Milan News, by the way, does the same thing. It collects reports from different journalists. For example, Milan News also collects reports from Calciomercato. No, from Pedulla. Pedulla is not a Milan News. He's just a journalist. Interesting here. Let's see. Gundogan. Let's talk about a little bit about Gundogan here. I think I saw something on Sempremilan. Probably it's the same one from Sempremilan.com. Yeah. So it's okay. So Milan News. There you go. Milan News. Exactly. Had a very interesting article about Gundogan. If this was a channel in Italian, I would be there. I would be milannews.it. But since this is an English channel, I'm here, sempremilan.com, and we are about to read a Milan News article. So come on, guys. It's very easy to understand this. Speaking during an interview with Sky Sport via Milan News, the German midfielder explained that he has an attachment to the city of Milan due to his immediate family. I'm very attached to Italy and Milan. My son's doctor is Italian and an Inter supporter. I've already spoken to him. My son was born there. My wife lived there for years. I also like to go there on holiday, although this year it'll depend on how the final goes. Given Gundogan is set to be available on a free transfer at the end of the season, AC Milan are one of the many teams that have been linked with a move for him. He has been a star performer for City at times and scored the 2 goals that helped them win the FA Cup last weekend. Despite his undoubted quality, the club and player are yet to reach an agreement on his future. Now, guys, Gundogan does not enter the parameters of the Moneyball schemes. High salary, old age. So you're not going to get Gundogan. Under this management, Gundogan is not coming. Maldini would have wanted Gundogan. I've lost the 2 Champions League finals I've played, so I guess everyone can understand how great my desire is to win this trophy. I'm 32 years old, and I don't think I'll have such an opportunity again. We have confidence, but we also know that beating Inter will be very difficult. Exactly. They just collect all the Milan reports in one. It's just easier. Yeah. That's really the only reason why I use Sempre Milan. Sempre Milan is not a source. It's just a collection of reports. That's all it is. The owner's real colors have come out. Maldini gone. Perez will want to be transferred out. They want to make money by selling Milan. Will not win this way, especially Champions League. There are more reports in Milan News. I mean, if you want me to use Milan News as well, we can do that. No problem. No problem. We're all aggregators. Example, Sempre Milan. Yeah, pretty much all of them are. I think that Lea wants to tell us that he is amazed and with this mouth closed about what happened. Yeah, I wonder what Leo is thinking, man. I really wonder what Leo is thinking. I think Leo is telling everyone he's done with the issue. Milan keep going through. I think he's hinting at leaving next season. He only resigned because Milan convinced him. I hope that's not the case, but it could be. Maldini also convinced Teo and Benacer to also renew, but now they feel all betrayed with what the owners have done. Jake, we are going to do an open live. So join us when we do the open lives, Jake. Everybody's welcome when we do the open lives. I am probably going to start doing what we did yesterday, the calls, so one person can come at a time and speak. But I'm not going to do it today because it's not going to be a super long stream. Watch Moncada reply to my spreadsheet, Roy. Did he reply to your spreadsheet? So Hans is a scout, and he does these very meticulous spreadsheets, and they're very nice. They're very well put. So let's. I don't know what are you saying? Watch Moncada reply to my spreadsheet. What do you mean by that? Gundo is saying he's not staying at City. If he says that is his last chance to win the CL. You know what? Good catch. Very good catch, Rock. You're absolutely right. That does suggest that he is not staying at City because if he was staying at City, obviously he'd probably say, there are going to be more opportunities. Actually, it probably says that he's coming to Milan, but that's not going to happen either because he doesn't fall within the parameters. I think people are highly overrating Maldini's pull factors. Players, especially those who excel already and are talented, are already highly motivated. Better to have Colomani and Enzo. If they're not motivated, then Origi and CDK. If they're fully motivated. Now, listen, Jake. No matter what, Milan has a great pull factor. No matter what, Maldini was just an addition to it. It was just an addition to it, and Maldini maybe was an addition greater enough to pull players that maybe otherwise would look to join other clubs, right? Maybe if let's look at Tomori. Tomori probably, if Maldini wasn't there, he probably would have gone to another club in somewhere else. So yeah, Milan will always have the pull factor no matter what, no matter how you put it. That is a fact, and nobody can ever dispute that because Milan is for the people that actually know football, aside from Jerry, Milan is one of the biggest clubs in the history of the sport. So yeah, nobody is discussing Milan's pull factor. Come on, guys, click that like button. It is free. It is free. It is not a Moneyball scheme. It is not a Moneyball scheme, guys. It is free. It's even cheaper than Moneyball. All you got to do is click that like button, help the channel grow. We appreciate you. Moncada will sign a bunch of 15-year-olds. We are fucked, guys. Joel. Like the video, damn it. Bastava il nome di Maldini perché some players will move to Milano. Yeah, and that is something. It is true. Like, come on, guys. We know that. Yeah, come on, guys. We're doing a Moneyball scheme to get you to like this video. Let's get it. Let's get it. Maldini convinced those players because it was his job to do that. But the fact that Maldini comes to talk with you and can make it easier for players to join Milan. Yeah, just that presence of Maldini coming to talk to you when you meet like these great people in the sport that you work in, and they're showing you that they want you at the club and they want to work with you, and you as a football player in front of you have like this football royalty character that you want to learn from. So again, I agree, Jake. Maldini is not the all and be all, but he was this additional factor that provided a lot of weight into the decision making of players that would come to Milan. Like the video or your Jerry's escort. Like the video if you're depressed. Joel, at least it's not Woodward. Just know there's a lower low. I'm not sure who that is. I already liked, if I could, I like him more than once. It would be that. How should I feel right now? I lost trust in the fans. I don't think as many people will be happy to see Maldini out of the club. I didn't think I would see as many people happy. Let's see how they react in Italy in a few days. Maldini has Riz. Maldini has Riz. He can make players understand what Milan is. Moncada is not that guy. Yeah, and that is another thing. Maldini can really make you understand what being a Milan player is like, right? Under the Fassone Mirabelli era, that's the thing that I saw that was missing. Yeah, they would spend all this money on these players that will come and they're supposed to be the next superstars of the future. They were supposed to be, but they didn't have someone there to teach them and show them what it means to play for Milan. Fassone Mirabelli can't do that. Now, these guys already have Magnan, Theo, etc. Now they already have that built inside them, that Milanismo. They already have Maldini's, let's say, teachings. Let's put it that way. So maybe they can now. It is their responsibility now to transmit that to the players that come in. Hopefully, guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Theo, Tonali, Leao, Magnan, Tomori, all these players Calabria, even all these players that have now have become the core of AC Milan. Hopefully, they're going to band together, and they're going to continue this Milanismo. They're going to continue this spirit, and they're going to then show it to the newcomers what it means to play for Milan. Because obviously Moncada cannot tell you what it's like to play for Milan. The only people that can tell you what it's like to play for Milan are the players that are on that pitch and fight of the San Siro, especially the ones that have won at the San Siro. And Maldini was one of them. So yeah. Maldini Riz. We need some of that Maldini Riz. I'm hearing Moncada is we have a new Leipzig. Maldini had so much fucking Riz. You need to understand that motivations of players, especially young talent, to joining teams, they care more about excelling on the pitch rather than Maldini's Riz. It's not a homo relation. Yeah, but young players also look up to the older players for coaching, for advice, for life teachings. I think that is just a human aspect of life that you can't deny either, right? So if, for example, let me give you this example, Jake. Let's say Lazio comes to me, offers me 3 million. Not Lazio. Let's put another club. Let's say I don't know. Fuck. Shit. What club is comparable to Milan? I don't know. Let's say Milan comes to you and they offer you 3 million a season. Chelsea comes to you, they offer you 3 million. You have to decide whether you know. But at Chelsea you don't have Maldini. At Milan you have Maldini. Maybe Maldini is what tips over, you know, your thought process. I want to go and work with Maldini. I want to go and work with one of the greatest of football. So yeah, you can't deny that Maldini had pulled, my man. You really can't deny it. But of course, he wasn't the all and be all. No one cares. These players have families to take care of and trophies to win. Their last priority is having a relationship with Maldini. I disagree with that, bro. I disagree with that. I think these things are important. These things are important. I think you're being dishonest, because I think there's a big difference when on the phone someone tells you, hey, Moncada is on the phone, or hey, Maldini is on the phone. Come on, my man. I think there's a big difference in reaction to the two. All those idiots went on the street against the Super League, but Milan fans accept that Cardinale destroys our club. Yeah, true. Hi guys, just tuning in. I have worst day ever. Got food poisoning. Maldini resignation. No. Maldini was did not resign. Maldini was fired. Difference. But yeah, sorry about that, brother. Imagine if Messi was a sporting director at Barca and he was able to get young stars to go, then Barca just fire him. That's what Maldini means to Milan. You guys just don't understand. Yeah. Listen, guys, I think that you're crazy to think that this project would have had any success if it wasn't for Maldini. Like, this project had the success it had because of Maldini. If you take out Maldini, we saw what happens when you take out Maldini. We saw what happened because we had the prime example the years prior to him. Even when Maldini wasn't at the head of it all, when it was just Leonardo, it still didn't work. Things started ticking once Maldini was put at the head of the pyramid. That's when things started to tick. Yeah, but legends, if Milan is a legendary club, it is because of players like Maldini that were on the pitch fighting till their last drop of sweat, making Milan into a legendary club. If you want to continue that status quo, it is the legends that you want to learn from. It is the legends that have to be there and show these players what it means to play for Milan. Who is not sick to his stomach? Each and every one of us. Reasons are many, and not to mention why Galliani never hired him. Maldini is Milano. All right, let's see other reports. That report there, the Ted Bowley report, is freaking sickening. Okay, so a lot of speculation says that this Dybala comment was one of the factors that contributed to this firing. There are a number of reported factors behind the decision to sack Paolo Maldini from his role as technical director at AC Milan, and one of them centers around Paulo Dybala. As has been reported by Calciomercato, a bone of contention between the upper management of the club and Maldini was the decision to pursue a move for Charles de Kettler rather than Dybala. The Argentine was available on a free transfer and ended up joining AS Roma instead. Man, oh my God. Fuck, imagine if we got Dybala. Whilst dealing with many injuries, he has been their key player this season, whilst De Kettler has failed to impress. Guys, no diss on De Kettler. I honestly hope that De Kettler has a great career, and hopefully he does well at Milan. But I want to repeat this crazy statistic. Tatarusano, our second goalkeeper, has the exact same amount of offensive output as CDK. 1 assist. That is insane. That decision from Maldini, as well as his comments in the press, where he suggested a move for Dybala would have suited the corporate project, were part of the deterioration in the relationship between him and Jerry Cardinale. Whilst not yet officially announced, sporting director Frederic Massara is also leaving the club. Would have not suited the corporate project. I think that's what they didn't mention. Let me see this article. I think there was a mistake here in translation. Si guarda il risultato, il patrono. Il giorno della scelta. Okay, so let me see this. Cardinale e Furlani non hanno gradito le ultime scelte comunicative di Maldini, con 2 episodi su tutti. Il riferimento della scelta di puntare su De Kettler e non su Dybala per il progetto societario è sembrato un attacco al CEO rossonero, in quanto era stato lui a contattare gli agenti dell'argentino lo scorso estate. Anche la dichiarazione sul dare 8 alla stagione del Milan, con una qualificazione in Champions League acciuffata anche in virtù della penalizzazione inflitta alla Juve, non è stata gradita affatto. Massara e Maldini hanno dato tanto per il Milan, hanno costruito una squadra e una mentalità credibile e speravano in una sintesi produttiva per il club, nonostante le vedute fossero totalmente differenti, ma nell'incontro di ieri Cardinale ha solo comunicato la scelta di interrompere il rapporto direttore dell'area tecnica, non c'è stato alcun dialogo chiarificatore. Okay, so Maldini wanted Dybala, right? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see whether or not this translation is correct. If Maldini is conflicting with other scouts and impeding getting talents like Dybala, Colomani, and Enzo, you either demote him or fire him. Either way, simply because he is Maldini, people will be mad. Okay, but first of all, how do you know Colomani or Enzo would have worked at AC Milan? Maybe Colomani would have been a flop at Milan. maybe Enzo Fernandez would have been a flop. I mean, Enzo Fernandez has been put in at Benfica, he did well, but you put him at Chelsea, and all of a sudden, what's happening with him? Colomani is in Germany, I believe, right? And we know that in Germany, for some reason, people have where's isn't Colomani in Germany? I believe in Germany, for some reason, everybody scores 1,000,000 goals. Even Origi went to Germany and scored a decent amount of goals. Now, of course, Colomani ended up being better than CDK, but are you sure that these guys wouldn't have flopped? Are you 100% sure? Maybe they would have. I'm telling you, it's easy, when everything is said and done, to be the hero and to be Moncada. It's easy to be that guy. It's very easy. Colomani is at Frankfurt. Oh, Frankfurt. Okay. Yeah. Oh, right. I remember Colomani against Napoli. Yeah. Okay. I remember it. Yeah, he was good. He was good. But okay, Kim and the Napoli defenders pretty much. Wait. He played only the first game, right? And then didn't he get a red card? He got a red card, right? Against Napoli. I believe he was suspended for the second game. But the first game, I remember him being somewhat of a threat, but more or less Napoli had him in his pocket. I believe. You can't tell me you prefer Rebic, Messias, CDK, Origi over Dybala, Colomani, Enzo, and whatever else Moncada had cooking. Well, listen, bruh. Of course, today you can say all of these things, right? You can say Colomani, Enzo, but I remind you that Enzo at Chelsea has been a flop. All those players at Chelsea have been a flop. Colomani is easy to say that he's doing great. In Germany, it looks like you put anybody in Germany and they score 1,000,000 goals. Then as soon as those players go out of Germany, you have to cut those goals divided by 2. Would you prefer Colomani over Lazetic and Rebic and injured Ibra? I would. Yeah, I said in hindsight, everybody's a genius, brother. Everybody's a genius. But don't forget, Jake, that the prior season, all the decisions that Maldini took won us a Scudetto against the odds, right? So it's easy to just concentrate on the negatives. It is very easy to concentrate on the negatives. Very easy to do that. That's we love as human beings. We love to do that. Someone can be 100, like 99% right, and he'll do one thing wrong, but everybody will only talk about that one thing wrong that he did, because every time someone does something right, you just take it for granted. You just take it for granted. Remember, every summer up until last summer, Maldini did the right market according to the objectives that he was given. And this year, the market, wasn't the best, but Milan with the Juventus situation did finish in top 4, but we got to the semifinals of the Champions League with the players that Maldini got. Corriere della Sera, Maldini's exit bad news for De Kettler. He could be sold. He could be sold. Well, if we can get some, I don't think there's any capital gain with selling CDK, but if we do make some money out of them and they can reinvest that money in the market, I'm not against it. Let's see what Moncada does with summer market. If he fucks up, keep that same energy. Right. And honestly, guys, even if he doesn't fuck up, for me, it's not so much the market. It is so much, how do the players react? How do the players perform? How does the club, perform? How does the club behave? Who is at the top of the pyramid of this all? Every sporting director makes mistakes on transfers. Not one director has 100% perfect signing record in getting amazing players for cheap. Exactly. I hate Cardinale. People like this shouldn't be alive. No, guys, I disassociate myself from that comment. It's not a good idea. Give a boy another chance. It's not a good idea. Give a boy another chance. Yeah, you guys will give him another chance. Okay, so here we go, guys. So now we're going towards a new direction, and now player that we're talking about is going to be Marcus Thuram. So let's look at Marcus Thuram. Paris Saint-Germain have begun to accelerate their interest in AC Milan target Marcus Thuram, who is available on a free transfer. As has been reported by L'Equipe in France, the League One champions are very serious about getting a deal for the Borussia Mönchengladbach striker done quickly. Many teams have been linked with Thuram, but there are serious fears that the interest from PSG will be too much to compete with, as we saw last year with Sanchez. They can offer much higher wages as well as the chance for Thuram to play in his home country again. PSG have already wrapped up deals to sign Manuel Ugarte from Sporting CP and Marco Asensio from Real Madrid. So they're clearly serious about their summer business. PSG reportedly tied positive talks with Thuram's father, Lilian, the former Juventus defender. The 24-year-old is said to be keen on the move. So one thing I do think for sure that is going to happen, Moncada now being the top guy, the top scout and the top DS, we're going to be looking at France a lot. We're going to be looking at the talented players from France. I do see a possibility of Etiquette coming to Milan. If Marcos Thuram is going towards PSG, maybe Etiquette could come towards Milan, guys. So I do see these kind of operations. Rock says sell CDK. Not true for me. Is that one good signer and two average? Moncada is not better. Let's see. I saw Antonio put in a comment. Who is better at talent acquisition, Maldini or Moncada? At talent acquisition? Well, listen, Moncada's job is to go around the world and discover talent. Maldini's job is to persuade that talent to come to Milan, offer them an opportunity to play for Milan, and then show them what it means to play for Milan. So obviously Moncada is the one that is a professional at finding talent and figuring out who the talent is. Now, can Moncada do the latter? Can Moncada do what Maldini had learned to do? We'll see. Bring Cherky and Openda. Openda looks like he's joining Leipzig. Get Hugo. Now, Etiquette is a really good player, a very good player, but obviously he's a player that is not ready for the big stage. And the PSG barely used him, even though he did well when he was used. Etiquette could actually be a very good player, and now that the French connection has gotten even bigger, I think Etiquette could end up joining Milan, maybe, if Marcos Thuram goes to PSG. The first thing that I thought of when I saw this link is Marcos Thuram going to PSG is a demotion for Etiquette. So why aren't they, promoting Etiquette to a more prominent role? Interesting. Very, very interesting. PSG wasted a lot of their signings from last summer. True. Very true. Moncada was the head scout. Maldini is in charge and talking to all of this into consideration and executing on what players to target. He made some questionable decisions. Yeah, of course. But he made a lot of good decisions too. That's what I care about. Honestly, I care about the great decisions that he made. All right, guys. We're going to go towards the end of this. We have a few minutes left. Let's see if there are any other reports. Let's go to Milan News. Got it. What the fuck is this? Okay, translate. And this is what I think right here. Basically, you can not only look at the last summer market, but the 3-year period. I think that is the proper way to really evaluate Maldini. It's the 3-year period, not just one summer market. Okay, I don't see anything interesting here, guys. We covered everything for today. We covered everything from today. Guys, make sure you click the like button. We're going to be following this every single day. We're going to see what this situation brings to, and once we have more information, we're going to evaluate. Guys, tomorrow we are doing an open live, so we're going to get the opinion of other people in. On Wednesdays, the news is open news Wednesdays. Then Thursdays, we're going to do the usual newscast, and Friday we're going to do Milan Forum. And also, guys, check out for Rock. Rock might be doing lives too. If he is, I'm going to post it on the community page, so you guys don't miss those lives either. Let's look at this article here. Tare from Lazio. What is this all about? Italian journalist Giancarlo Padovan has named the man he thinks should replace Paolo Maldini at AC Milan and shed more light on the situation between the former defender and Jerry Cardinale. So this is half opinion and maybe half news. Let's see. Padovan explained how Maldini forced the hierarchy at the club to give more money for transfers as well as complete control over which players signed for the Rossoneri. He then said that it was a failure of a transfer market for Maldini in a situation that caused confusion among many key members of the club, such as Stefano Pioli. A year ago, with the sensational interview with the Gazzetta dello Sport, Maldini had forced the new ownership's hand and obtained what he wanted. That is a decent budget and carte blanche on the market. Unfortunately for him, for Pioli and for Milan, it was a failure. From De Cutler to Origi, and I'll stop here out of charity, it was a succession of mistakes that produced a harmful climate. First, leading to misunderstanding between Maldini and Pioli. Then even unmotivated exclusions of Pioli towards the new ones. Cardinale couldn't take it anymore and decided to go with someone else. After explaining how the season was much more of a failure than the history books will show, with Champions League qualification only coming due to a Juventus suspension, Padovan named his ideal replacement. He thinks that former Lazio director Iglitare is the correct name to come in, and there are others at the club who are good at what they do. If I were him, I would go straight for Iglitare, who has just left Lazio after 18 years of great work. Jeffrey Moncada, in charge of the scouting area, is very good at what he does, although he has the advantage of being an insider. Decisive, in my opinion, would be Giorgio Furliani, managing director and genuine Milan fan. If Cardinale listens to him, he certainly won't make a mistake, he wrote. Okay, so the Tare thing, the Tare link, guys, was just a suggestion. It was just a suggestion. So let's make that clear. It was just a suggestion, nothing else. Moneyball teams never win anything. Moneyball teams are just meant to stay afloat, and that's it. Grazie, Rock. Grazie to you, my friend. Rock, yeah, let us know if you're going to do live, Rock, so I can post it when you do it. And we got to get Rock's channel up, guys. He's doing a great job with his channel. Rock, awesome, super entertaining, super entertaining, bro. I can't believe this shit, Roy. I know, Joel. I know. Moneyball equals you don't maintain top players. Yep. Yes. I don't want to go to banter era. Poor Joel. Poor Joel. He became a fan of Milan during the banter era. Guys, let's see. Let's keep the door open, guys. Maybe at the end of this, it's going to be all right. Maybe at the end of all of this is going to be all right. Maybe at the end of this, it is all going to be all right. Okay, so to reiterate, tomorrow we are going to do a newscast, open live newscast. On Thursday, we're going to do the regular newscast. Friday is going to be the forum. Saturday, if the world is still intact, maybe we'll do call-in Saturday. I like the call-in format yesterday. Because people got to say what they had to say. They weren't interrupted, and I like that format. I think we can. We can do more of that also. Maybe I will add that to the newscast. Every last 30 minutes of every newscast, we can do a call-ins, so everybody gets in, gives us a little bit of what they have to say. Maybe we'll do that. The call-in format was a huge success. Yeah. Maybe we'll do this at every end of a newscast. We'll do 30 minutes of call-ins and get people to come in and say what they have to say. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm here. I'm just giving you my opinions, and we're reading the news together, and we're opinionating on the news. And also you guys are giving your opinions also. And this is a channel that promotes the voice of everybody. It's a channel that promotes the voice of everybody. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's opinion is valuable, whether or not they're different from mine or whoever else's. Radio RossonARI TV. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll do this from now on, guys. Every newscast will end the last 30 minutes with call-ins. We'll do that. That'll be the new format starting from Thursday. Yeah, true. So many new voices. Call-in was very cool. Felt like a sports radio station. But we won't win because we will have 5 new players every year. Listen, I'm happy that Jake is optimistic. I think it is good that some people are in this chaos is optimistic in all of this. And this is why I want to do call-ins. This is why I want to have open lives, because we can't have everybody, have the same opinion. We need other people to challenge our opinions so we can have discussions. What is this all about? Unless you're a fake Italian Arsenal speaking fan like Paul. unless what? Divock, sveglia, Divock. Lucas, who is growing, who is becoming more mature, who is 1 year from becoming 1 year from becoming officially a man. Well, you're a man, Lucas. You're already a man. I'll give you that. You have a beard growing under your chin. You're a man. I feel like the fan base needs to evaluate Moncada's new role before they start a rebellion. Only Liart is? Only Liart is what? Is no one else sad we're losing Brahim? Oh, no, I'm not, guys. I'm not sad. Yeah, yeah, I am a little bit because obviously I appreciate the player, but I'll be honest with you guys. This whole thing about Real Madrid parking the Brahim Diaz car in the AC Milan garage has just done nothing but piss me off. Okay, like I do not want to be Real Madrid's garage. Like hell no. Let's get a player. Let's own that player. Let's develop him. Only Laird is sad. Brahim is leaving. That's fun. I'm sad losing Brahim, but now he's not the biggest problem. No, he's not. He's going to be a bench player for Madrid. I'm imagining Roy as a jury and giving Lucas the honor to be a man. Apparently, Masada left, didn't get sacked. Am I the only one who missed this? Interesting, if that's the case. I haven't read anything about Masada yet. Let me see here. Yeah, Milan News has not reported. Let me see what Milan News says, because they were doing a live feed. No, nothing new regarding Masada just yet. Masada was being sought after by Juve. Juventus wanted Masada. Juventus wants to bring in Giuntoli and Masada. That's what they wanted to do a few weeks ago. I guess now they'll have the opportunity to do that. Yeah, nothing regarding Masada just yet. If you have a source for that, please let me know. What the fuck is this? I'm here for information and reassurance. This is a shit show. I don't know if we're turning into an Italian German. Am I at the right place? Are you at the right place? Yes, it looks like we're turning into an Italian Dortmund. Yeah. Yeah. Brahim will have a growth spurt and prove you guys wrong. He'll soon be 6.2. Feel bad for my boy Masada. He's definitely going to get me an unemployed tennis player now. We will have new Leo every year, but we'll sell to leave him every year. Yeah, my man. Unfortunately, by the looks of it, Milan is going to turn into a Dortmund. Yeah, by the looks of it. 4 more likes, guys. Roy works hard for us. Come on. What? How many are we at? Tomorrow, Lucas, it's open. Tomorrow it's going to be open. Let's see. Close to 60 likes. Come on, let's get to 60. Moncada currently looking at 15-year-olds from the slums of Paris to sign. But listen, this ambition, Jake, that you speak of, it needs to be pushed by the people that run the club. It just doesn't happen out of nowhere. There needs to be someone that pushes them. The ambition is only as big as how ambitious the people are that work in the club. It's not that Milan is going to be Milan no matter what, because Jake, I don't know if you remember, just a few years ago, We were in what now we call the banter era. Yeah, us fans wanted Milan to be the top of the world, but the club wasn't able to do that because they didn't have the right people to push the club to do that. Right now, not only, at least during the banter era, the people that worked in the club wanted to push Milan back into its former glory. But the people that work in the club right now don't even want to do that. Like, this is the thing that we need to understand. They don't even want to do that. Jerry Cardinale has no intention of making Milan into a top club, a first-tier elite club. He has zero intention to do that. Let's not forget that. Who said we won't still be ambitious from the directors to the fans to the players, etc.? We were in the banter because the quality of players were shit, not because we aim to live up to the club. Well, again, my man, Jerry Cardinale, when he bought Milan, he did not say, I bought Milan because I want to make Milan into the biggest club in the world. He said, I bought Milan because I want to see if my fucking Moneyball experiment is going to work. That's why he bought Milan. Roy, that side article about AC Milan investors talk about Dream Team. What side article? Oh, this one here. Okay, let's look at this one here. Good catch. I was going to look into this. Damn, this is a big one. All right. Final article of the day, guys. This will be our final newscast of the day. And then we'll see what the rest of the day brings and we'll report it tomorrow. But here we go. Let's see what this one is. It's nice and long. We can spend a little bit more time together. AC Milan fan and investor Riccardo Silva believes that the club have a dream team of executives in Giorgio Furlani and Jeffrey Moncada. Okay, so someone here that is going to give us an optimistic and positive view on the matter. Let's see what he says. Milan News are among the reliable sources reporting that Jerry Cardinale has decided to fire Paolo Maldini and Enrico Massara. Finally, someone says it correctly, decided to fire Paolo Maldini and Enrico Massara from their position as technical and sporting director, respectively. It brings the end of an era of the club, and now there are question marks about what the future holds under Redbird Capital and what the plans are for who succeeds the two directors and whether it'll be an internal or external hire. Sempre Milan spoke with Riccardo Silva, who is a minority shareholder in AC Milan, as well as the owner of Miami FC, to get his take on the stories circulating. All right, guys, this is a corporate man. This is an aziendalista. He's a yes man. This guy's a yes man, all right? So let's put that in consideration before getting into this. We're talking about a yes man. We're talking about partner. Obviously, he's not going to say anything but what we're about to read. So let's not get this twisted. Things at Milan seem a bit chaotic at the moment. No, I wouldn't call it chaos. It's just a change. I only speak as a fan and as an investor, not as a representative of AC Milan. First, I think Paolo Maldini is a legend. He's amazing. He represents AC Milan on and off the pitch, he said. I think he did great in these 5 years as a football executive, so we must thank him. He will always be AC Milan regardless of if he is at the club or not. Of course, everybody knows that Maldini is, and I think he did a great job and will always be loved by Milan fans. I want to reiterate something. There's nobody at Milan that cares more than Milan than how much Maldini cared for Milan. I think he was great also in the front office. He did a great job, and we must all thank him. He's a great man. He was a great player and a great executive. At the same time, I think Jerry Cardinale thinks this is the right time for a change. We trust him. Well, you trust him. Things can change. Things can evolve. I want to also say we have a good team in the front office at Milan, especially Giorgio Furlani and Geoffrey Moncada, as this is a paid agent that we must also be aware of. We have a dream team in our front office. No, the dream team was Maldini, Massara, Furlani, and Geoffrey Moncada. Half of that dream team has been taken out. This guy is a yes man, guys. Furlani is one of the top 3 football executives in the world, in my opinion. And he was super important in the Elliott period to grow the club, to clean up the accounts that were horrible after Yongong's Lee ownership. At the same time, improving. I thought Gazidis was the guy that should be taking that credit. Anyway, at the same time, improving the performance on the pitch and bringing us the Scudetto. So already, what the fuck are you talking about? How's Furlani gets credit for that? How does Furlani get any credit for improving the performance on the pitch? What? At the same time, improving the performance on the pitch and bringing us the Scudetto. So already proved on the Elliott side how good he is, and he's proven it now as the CEO of Milan. Because am I missing something? Who the fuck was Furlani before Gazidis? What did he do? Like, how did he improve the performance on the pitch? Another part of his dream team is Moncada. He's one of the best kept secrets at AC Milan. Oh my lord. He's one of the top scouts in the world, also on the rise. I think he can handle more and more important positions. Yeah, okay. So Paolo Maldini is a legend, a great ex-player, and he proved to be great executive in his 5 years at Milan, and we must thank him forever. We will see him as a symbol of AC Milan forever, whether he's at the club or not. This guy not only is a yes man to the management, he's also a yes man to the fans. This guy is just, he wants to be loved by everybody. At the same time, we have a dream team of executives in Furlani and Moncada. So we're not only in great hands, but we have among the best executives in the world. Hey, we got Pelé, we got Zidane. Okay. So we must be optimistic about the future and improve it more and more. If Gianni Cardinale, a great football mind, a great football philosopher, thought it was the right time for a change, we trust him. Well, I hope your investment. I hope for you, Mister. What's your name, Mister Silva, that your investment works out. Because this interview in a few years is going to look very different if it doesn't. Was the possibility not there for Maldini and Massara to continue as part of this dream team? Differences in opinion and strategy happen in football. Were they just too great to continue together? The question is asked. At least that's a good question. I don't want to step into the details. I just think things can evolve. And if Jerry Cardinale thought it was the right time for change, we trust him. Again, Maldini was and is great, but we have other executives who are among the best in the world. So we have to be optimistic. This is literally politics, guys. This is literally what we're reading now. Is this guy is probably a politician. Like, he probably runs for it's politics what we're reading right now. Based on what you said about Furlani and Moncada, it will be internal promotions to fill the void, and there won't be anyone coming from outside. From the outside, I cannot. So okay, let me read that again. Based on what you said about Furlani and Moncada, it will be internal promotions to fill the void, and there won't be anyone coming from outside. I cannot comment on this. I just say we have fantastic people in our club already, and they can all do a fantastic job. We must be aware of this, because I don't think this was observed enough by Milan fans and also by the media. Lord have mercy. Of course, Paolo Maldini is Paolo Maldini. He's a symbol. Man, he repeats the same shit over and over. He is a symbol of football around the world, but at the same time, maybe most Milan fans aren't fully aware of how good Furlani and Moncada are. When did this interview come out? This interview was fucking planned. This interview had to be planned. Sempre Milan spoke to this guy. Wow. Wow. Interesting. They are among the top. They're the very best, each one in their own expertise. We must be happy and optimistic. I think Redbird are doing a great job, so I'm very optimistic about the future. We have done great in the past couple of years, and we can do great in the future. Wow. Wow. That's incredible. I've no this was the most politically correct fucking interview I've read about the situation. so far. Let's see, Jake, who is very optimistic about what is happening, says, I can't wait to come back to this live at the end of next season or even just after the winter because it simply will not be as bad as you guys claim with this doomsday porn. Now, Jake, I've said that I'm keeping the door open for this to be for optimism. So I am keeping the door open because I know that there is a possibility of optimism, but let's also be realistic, man. There's not only Milan that exists that is competing for the top. There's a lot of clubs out there that are competing for the top spots. You need top G's, you need elites in your club. You need elites in your club that at least give you some kind of guarantee that whether or not you are going to achieve the top or not, at least you have a guarantee that there's someone in the club that is fighting to be at the top. So I think it is very, very conceivable and very understandable that people today are being negative about the situation. One of the greatest figureheads of Milan just got fired like a dog, and we're being replaced by moneyball strategies. So I think it is very, very understandable for people's objective pessimism. But I also urge everybody that is listening to open the door for the possibility of all of this turning into something positive. Okay? The possibility is there. Let's not just commit to the idea that everything is fucked. Having said that, fuck Jerry and fuck Redbird for firing Maldini the way they did. Okay? No matter what, I will say that. Yes, exactly. I think it's the way Maldini was sent off pisses off most people, not the fact itself. Yeah, that bears a lot of weight in this whole equation. I have a question: does Moncada have skill of negotiating for players at Maldini? How Maldini did it? That's what we have to find out, because not even Maldini was still that great at it. Maldini was still learning, right? Maldini was still in the beginning of his. I mean, that is a skill. That is a skill, like playing football, like anything that involves craft. The skill of negotiating deals and persuading deals to go your way, persuading the player. That is a skill. Maldini was learning that skill, but he also had with him the addition of being Maldini that helped his negotiating, right? So that's a question that nobody can answer, because I don't think he can answer that either, because I don't know if he has done that. I checked what he did earlier in his career with Monaco. He wasn't a DS with Monaco. He was a scout at Monaco. So that's a great question. This is a really good question. You know, who is going to negotiate in Mercato for buying and selling players? That is a really good question. We will find out. We will find out. He is a talent identifier, not in acquisitions. Yeah, correct. As far as we know. How can you post a statement like that on an official website? It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Lyert, what's up, brother? Milan is not a family now. Maybe that can be a good thing on certain things. Still fuck Tom and Jerry. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. So maybe this time, selling players and releasing players is going to be more, let's say, easier, because maybe one can argue that when it came to getting rid of players, selling players, maybe Maldini was created too much of that family environment. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Youssef says Milan fans deserve an explanation and more information regarding immediate and future plans, not just a vague generic statement. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, Vasil? He says, Vasil says, this is not the end of the world, guys. It sucks. We have to move on. I mean, yeah, in the end, we all are going to move on. Obviously, right now, everybody is concerned. It is what it is. It is what it is. Another Banterra equals me not supporting anymore. Well, let's see, guys. Let's see. Let's see. I was seeing some other podcasts, and some other people are saying no need to panic. Things are going to be fine. Yeah, guys. I as I said, I'm keeping the door open for it to be fine. Yeah. Actually, Italy as a country needs complete rehauling. Yeah, it is very slow and bureaucratic country. Absolutely. They said Furlani was instrumental in Leao's renewal. Yeah, yeah, that's what they're saying. So I guess Furlani is the one. I guess Furlani is the one that is going to be taking care of that stuff. The same with Italian clubs, for sure, for sure. The Moneyball era has commenced. Moneyball. All right, guys, listen, we're going to close here for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Really appreciate you guys for, sticking around. We've been 2 hours and a half right now. That's longer than I wanted to do. I usually get every fucking day when I want to do these newscasts, I'm like, okay, it's just going to be 1 hour. It always ends up being 2 hours, 3 hours. Fuck, yesterday ended up being 7 hours, guys. Yesterday, I literally fucking started in the morning and said, this is going to be a short one. It ended up being 7 hours. With the call format, we are going to be doing from now on. Each newscast is going to end with a call format. On Wednesdays, it's going to be open newscast, WhatsApp group open newscast, and on Fridays, Milan Forum. Another question. What I know is our financial situation is good, that we are plus net benefit at 22-23. So is Cardinale have enough money but not give a budget? Yeah, that is one of the questions we ask ourselves. It looks like that. What it looks like is that the way this is organized is that Cardinale is always going to give a set amount of money as per the budget. So whether we make 400 million revenue, 300 million revenue, 200 million revenue, or maybe not 200, or whatever, 50 million is going to be allocated for the budget. And then also for the budget, according to what is being reported, whatever sales, the sales of certain players is going to be added to the budget. But the rest of the money gets allocated to the other departments of the club, and also, I'm guessing, the debt, because he's got a big ass debt that he needs to pay. Well, I'm not completely against Moneyball if we win trophies. If we win trophies, then guys, yes, of course. If we win trophies, going with this Moneyball approach, then I'm sure the narrative will completely change. Absolutely. But up until now, it's hard. It's hard to see that because we don't have any precedent of it. The precedent is clubs getting out of shitty situations back into normalcy. But we don't have any precedent of Moneyball teams being, Champions League winners, because that's really what we want to be, guys. I don't think any of us are going to be satisfied unless we're going to win a Champions League in the next few years. Love the radio show type format. I got to call in one of these lives. Yes, we're going to do that. I think it was a great success yesterday. We're going to definitely keep on doing that. Isn't Redbird owning Liverpool too and made them great again? Well, they have a small minority in Liverpool, so they're a shareholder, but I don't think they have much administrative power as much as they have with AC Milan. So I think the capacity in which they work with Liverpool and Milan is completely different. Maybe Maldini should have listened more to Moncada, but Paolo out is disgusting. Yeah, absolutely. Only thing I can see us winning with Moneyball approach is a Mickey Mouse Cup. Yes, guys. Yes, exactly. Finally, guys, we're going to win the Coppa Italia. We're going to win the Super Coppa. It's coming. Did you guys have a relationship with Sempre Milan? Where do you come from? USA? Well, yes and no. Some of the okay. So RossonARI TV was founded in the US, but the people that run it are from one is from Europe and two are from the US. But one of the things we do here on RossonARI TV is that we usually invite a lot of people from everywhere around the world to give their opinions. But yeah, RossonARI TV was founded in the US. For sure. For sure. Okay, guys. That is it for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate you guys all. No matter what, Serie B, Serie C, Serie D, Serie whatever the fuck you want, Forza Paolo Maldini, fuck Jerry Cardinale. Guys, thank you for joining me today. Make sure to click the like button on your way out. And we will see you tomorrow morning for more news and more Milan updates. There's going to be a lot to discuss. There's going to be a lot to discuss this summer. This summer is going to be hot no matter what. Forza Torino. All right, guys. One more time. Forza Paolo Maldini. See you tomorrow. Alla prossima. Arrivederci. And ciao.